Welcome to Parnell Park, just in time for the Go Ahead Senior 1 Hurling Championship clash of Ballyboden, St Endas and St Vincents. Both of these two teams won their opening matches. Plunkett's overcoming, or Bowden overcoming Plunkett's, and obviously St Vincents had that big win against Nafina. The last game for a long time for Vincents. They'll play next September 1st after this for Ballyboden St Endas. It falls on August 19th. A win tonight would put either team in a very good position. A loss, not a disaster. Ballyboden St Endas on the attack. Niall McMorrow gathers. He's being chased down there, gets a bit of time and space, zips it over here to Paul Ryan. Ryan regathers, tries to turn away from three markers. That means there is space for someone else. Waiting was Luke McDwyer. Didn't come to him though, and cool as you like, a shot from a long way out, which drops short. A couple of drop shorts as Colin Walsh gets on the ball for St Vincent's. He goes long, no one waiting for it. Slips through the hands of James Madden. Madden regathers. Fires it off to Simon Lambert. Simo still doing it after all of these years, trying to get away from James Mulcahy. Got it outside to Luke Mulligan-Lynch. And that has a little bit too much on it. So the first stoppage in play allows me to bring in Joe Fortune. Joe, how are you?
Good, thanks, Oisin. Good. Looking forward to this one now. I think it'll be really competitive. Bit of a sloppy start, though, to be honest. I think both teams kind of working a chance from the throw-in, and then Simon obviously there a chance there at the end, but after a bit of sloppy play in the backs from Bowden. But look, I'm looking forward to this. It needs a bit of steel. I'm disappointed the last day. I just felt it lacking that kind of physical aggression in the championship, but that's a great scoring to start them off.
Fantastic score. Sean Mulcahy zips it over. Great run by Lamb. Set up for Mulcahy, and Mulcahy put it over. Vincent's lead by 1.
Yeah, and it's great to see, look, I think both teams are putting a bit of confidence in the youth tonight, like young Conor Dolan and Brian Mulhouse-Carr. Was very impressed with them the last day as well. I thought young Sean Lamb had a great game against Nafina also, and I can see Jack, Simo's brother there, starting wing back. It's his first championship start, I'd say, in Senior A as well. It's a big night for him, and you know, there's some good young players in that Ballyboden team and Vincent's team, and it's great to see the managers give them an opportunity to see where they're really at when it comes to competitive championship.
Vincent smothered there, they have it back. Ballyboden Simon Lambert, who had that drop short a few minutes ago. Here's Jack Lambert. Vincent's have an extra player back there. It's probably the smart move because Ballyboden are so good at kind of hitting those passes inside.
Yeah, there's been a couple of changes, I suppose, for people not in there. Durkin starts for Ballyboden as well as Jack. There's
good turn by Heatherton. He is dispossessed by Madden. Fantastic work by Madden. Well, when Heatherton turned there, I think everyone on the ground thought there's only going to be one end result here. Instead, Ballyboden turn it over, get a shot away, but unfortunately for them, hit a wide, their second wide.
They'll be disappointed, Oisin, because that's two poor wides, I suppose, as well, like from two really good shooters in Conor and Simon as well. So, you know, they're going to have to kind of settle themselves a little bit more. Vincent's looking really aggressive in the backs again, as they did last day against Nafina.
Mark Sweeney trying to get away. Sweeney still going, chasing him down is Jack Lambert. If that goes over, it's an exquisite score. It doesn't, it's a wide.
A good battle and intensity so far in the tackle. I don't know, a couple of hits given even before the ball was thrown in, but just shooting has been way off there at the moment.
Well, GA President Larry McCarthy said in his speech after the All-Ireland final last Sunday, it's now time to concentrate on the club. For these players, they're back into it with a while. Both of these two teams, as we say, have a game played. There is another match going on tonight, Lucan taking on Bridget's. And we will keep an eye on that. We'll bring you the scoreline from O'Toole Park.
Yeah, Tomo won't be too thankful of that there now as well, because Tomo made a great run through the centre of his away and had free space to put the ball over the bar, and just a silly kind of off the ball kind of a knock just caused a free for Ballyboden.
He might be jumping in a bit early here, Joe, but I think even compared to the first day, the game we watched between Vincents and Nafina, the intensity is just that bit up a notch, isn't it?
Yeah, but it'd have to be, Oisin. The first day, and I suppose the first day for everybody is coming in after a league that doesn't really mean as much anymore. And even the whole club, I think the way it's done at the moment, so close to the inter-county as well, is hard on players. So you'd imagine that each game now as we come in each week should be ratcheted up, because you get 2 or 3 wins on the board here now when you're guaranteed a quarter-final. And you know, I think it's great. I think it's credit to both clubs here now to give it a chance to young players who've been doing well so far. But look, Reiners, that's a great score for him, like from distance.
Dermot Burns-esque. Here's Sean McDonald watching on as the shot is released by Sean Lamb. He hits it wide.
Again, he'd be disappointed, like, you know, on his good side, on his right hand side. He's had a good start, but just 2 or 3 poor shot selections from both teams so far. So I'm sure Pat and David Curtin will be hammered at half time.
Vincents have it back, more by accident than design. Can they get a score from this one? A couple of bad wides so far. That is not one though. That's a brilliant score.
And Burke will do that all day. Like if he sits off Simon Lambert at 6, he'll do that all day. If he picks up ball, he doesn't even look at the post. His accuracy is very, very good. And you know, Sim will go touch tight to him now for the next couple of minutes to make sure that he's not as free the next time. But very impressed with Vincent so far.
Shot coming from a tight angle. Conor Dooley, who's played in goals earlier in his career, but he's effective out the field as well. And that's a really good score. 2 points apiece.
Yeah, and again, like we spoke about there now, like Owen O'Neill is going to have to look, if he's going to leave Conor Dooley off the 11th spot, he's going to have to hope that somebody from midfield comes back to cover, because he's kind of caught in no man's land there at the minute. And you know, I can see Tom O'Connell getting a bit frustrated down there as well, that he's not stepping up to the man.
Dooley after it takes it well, turns, eyes up those posts. Does this have the legs? Well, it didn't have the legs or the accuracy. Perry just allowed it to drop. So he's right and wide. Third wide for Ballyboden St Endas. It's a good interception. Firing it back to where it came, Jack Lambert. Niall McMorrow.
He's key to the machine out in McMorrow. You know, he can be a magician at times. Like, he really is key. That's a great strike.
Beautiful from Adam Kelleher.
There you go, son of Brian Kelleher out in Ballyboden as well, who would have had a big career with them as a club, and they seem to be really impressed with him at the moment. He was allowed a minor when I had him in 19 and 20, but he's really impressing them at the moment as a young player.
Over a shoulder injury as well, so that's good to see. Probably would have been involved at this level earlier only for that injury. Here's Conor Dooley using his power, using his strength. Fortunately for him, it's intercepted. Callum Walsh back to collect it. Vincent's trying to work it up the field, but Conor Dooley makes it stick.
Really impressed with that Vincent's back line again. Like, the two young lads are doing well, they're young Dolan and Morehouse Carter doing really, really well, sticky and tight in the corner. Strange as well, Ocean is it Wednesday, midweek or Tuesday. Yep. No, I will be here obviously tomorrow night again, but just like 8-9 days after the last round, when you're in here on a Tuesday and Wednesday night, it's strange. But you know, crowd-wise as well, like you need a little bit more, I think, for club championship.
I suppose a lot of people off on holidays and all that jazz as the shot is released from James Mulcahy. It's going to drop kindly into the hand of Conor O'Donoghue. Another game live on Dubs TV tomorrow night. Coola taking on Whitehall Colmkill. That one throws in at 7:30. Here's Luke McDwyer. Loses it. Turned over very well by James Mulcahy. Helmet loss. We have to stop play. We can't play on without a helmet. Well, he's doing it. Vincents don't care. It's a good save.
Yeah, Dermot did really well inside there. He won the ball really well, get the ball off to the runner, and young Mulcahy's been doing really well, tackled and turned over Luke there as well, but great save by Conor O'Donoghue. And it's needed as well, because Conor's taken over from Finn McGarry this year in the goal as well, and it's a big confidence boost. I suppose that save as well, just to start him off.
I think Sean McDonald might have been arguing, how could you play on there when I didn't have a helmet on me?
Yeah, in fairness to Luke now, Luke is still up to play now so far as well, and he's been, you know, he's allowed the game to flow, which is, I suppose, what we want to see as well, and allow that chance to go inside. But look, Vincent's to be disappointed, because it was an opportunity for a goal, and look, both teams so far are going at it, and you know, it definitely has like you said, a bigger sense of urgency than what we saw on day one. But like I said, I'm sure when we see Nafina now in a couple of weeks' time, they'll be gunning for blood again, because they know themselves that day one wasn't good enough.
They were missing players the first day. Still a big win for St Vincent's. Lining up the 65 is John Heatherton.
Could be key tonight as well, like Paul Ryan, John Heatherton, you know, two very good free takers, and that could be key tonight.
It's put over. Good score from Heatherton. He's going to break two. Taken well, getting in there, Mark Sweeney. Pops out, pulled on, sent down the park by Lamb. Finds his intended target. Mulcahy. He's able to get the pass away. Conor Burke hits that crossfielder. Oh, it just got away from Connolly, but he does brilliantly to flick it to Hedgehoe. John Heatherton turning, twisting, trying to get away from James Madden. Heatherton with goal on his mind. Heatherton, how many goals does he need? Two is the answer. He got it in on the second attempt. Good goal.
That ball inside though as well, like that crossfield ball, not just hitting the ball in, and Hedge had 2 or 3 chances to get it, but he had the bravery as well to take Madden on, and I've said it to you a couple of times over the last couple of years, he's dangerous in on that 14 spot, and just got the better of James there now as well, and he'll probably be disappointed with that, but what a ball inside.
Fantastic finish as well. He kind of had 2 swings at it, but 2 or 3 goals at it, if that makes sense.
But again, the brains of Dermo as well to create it, like, you know, you'd have some corner forwards at times just again for themselves, but just a poor wide, like, after. But they'll be disappointed because they've had 3 or 4 really poor wides there that could have them 6 or 7 points up easily.
2 scores in a row, one of them a 65, one of them a goal. As Vincent's in control by 3 points here. But as you said, what a play by Dermot Connolly to get the ball to him. That's a little bit loose, nipping in there to try and win it is Vincent's. Now over the ball is Mark Sweeney. Ballyboden get the bodies around, trying to get it up off the turf. Now it's Conor Burke. Conor Burke, who was so good for Dublin this season, ran out of pitch. Line ball for Ballyboden. And it's a real pity because that was a really good finish.
Yeah, and I'd say Burke's probably, it was very tight. It was very, very tight about whether it was gone or not. And you know, again, like, Boden just need to settle down here now a small bit as well. Jack takes that ball to his hand, you know, it moves on, so he'll know that himself. And look, it's a big game for some of these younger players as well. Your first championship start for your club, for Vincents or for Ballyboden, it's a huge night for them and families as well. So just need to settle down a small bit more.
That's a really strong catch. Connolly marauding out. Sean Mulcahy moves it on. Planting the feet and going for it. Sean Lamb.
He's got it.
Lamb shepherds it over. Good score.
Very good score. What a catch by Connolly as well. They're breaking out through the tackle. And just look, they'll know themselves that when they come out there, like the Vincent's backs are really ferocious in their tackling, and they're going to need to stand up and hit harder on the way out in order to stop that.
Just came to the feet of Dooley. It is a lucky break though for Ballyboden. Releasing the shot is Niall McMorrow.
Yep.
And it's a good one. He's just such a good sniper, isn't he, McMorrow?
I just think that, you know, even his inter-county career was cut way too short. Like, he's just, his feet, his athleticism, his balance, his strike, he has everything, Oisín, that you'd want in a player. And I actually still think he could do it at inter-county level, because he just has everything in his balance. But look, for whatever reason, he's just not involved anymore, and I think he was a massive loss to Dublin at the time.
Well, we have a scoreboard but no clock. 12 minutes gone. Vincent's won 4, Ballyboden 4 points. Ballyboden tried to change that score. They'll have to wait. Vincent's go with the diag. What a catch that is. Really good stuff from Sean MacDonald. And fires it into a place where there's no one. Paul Ryan is running after that. He's not going to get there. Back to the keeper it goes. Closed down but keeps his cool. Sidestepping Kelleher. Might go over the head of Gormley. Gormley with a really good flick to Lamb. That was very good awareness.
Yeah, he's done well in there, and I suppose they'll be missing as well the young O'Farrell, who was sent off the last day, and like, it's a great score again.
That's a fine score.
Look, the difference,
second of the game.
It's really clear. The difference is like both teams are winning ball in their half back lines, but distribution from Vincent so far has been far better, and that's something that David Curtin will talk to the Ballyboden players about as well. Like, winning your own ball is fine, but you need to know what to do with it as well, and your forwards need to show. But so far the half forward line from Vincent's, their quality ball in is far better.
14th minute, Vincent's leading by 4. Storming away with the ball is Paul Ryan. Got it to Lambert. They find Shane Durkin. Shane Durkin didn't quite catch it right.
No, and again, they're looking for leaders now as well. I suppose the same names that we've been talking about for the last couple of years, Shane and Simon Lambert and stuff, need to step up. Niall McMorrow the same as well, because, you know, Vincent's are really starting to push it here, and they're so really hard on that dirty ball. But look, it's typical of Gilroy. There's another one, I'd say.
James Mulcahy puts it over.
Yeah,
fine score. Fine score.
They're winning all that ball on the ground, aren't they? They just seem to be that little bit hungrier at the moment. But just again, Boden just need to settle. But in fairness to Pat and to Vincent, they look really impressive at the minute.
15th minute of the first half. Vincent's in charge. Gormley got his stick on it, and just another fine touch from him. He's carrying a bit of a knock. He was down on his haunches a minute ago. Here he is on the ball again, showing no ill effect of that knock. Lambert tries to get in the way of it. Planting the feet and going for Dermot Connolly. He dropped it in on top of Hedgerton.
What a ball.
Oh, that was brilliant. It was on purpose as well. He actually wasn't going for it. For a second, I thought he was, but he dropped it in on top of Heatherton, and Heatherton put it away for his second goal, made by Connolly and finished by Heatherton.
Like, if you're sitting at home, you're thinking that was a shot for a point, but as true as he took that ball, the first thing Hedjo did was roar, and he looked to see where he was. What an incredible ball inside. And look, that's 2 for John, and a really, really good start. And you know, here's Connor Down injured now, possibly similar to Nicky Quaid to settle things down here a small bit.
Well, halfway through the first half, just over 15 minutes gone. And it's Vincents who are leading, and leading well, 2-6 to 4 points. What about that? Connolly into Hedjo, Heatherton. Magnificent goal.
Yeah, and he's taken the 2 balls inside, and Connolly's had a part in both of the goals, Oisín. But again, you need a man inside to win it. And John has had 2 really good starts now to the Dublin Club Championship. I know he'd probably be disappointed not to be involved, maybe at a higher capacity or level this year with Dublin. But at club level, he's a serious player for Vincents.
Lucan 1-6, St. Bridget's 5 points, a latest score from O'Toole Park. That's the other Go Ahead Dublin Senior Club Hurling Championship match going on tonight. That's a shot, but is it a point?
Yeah.
The answer is yes.
Great score, Aidan Mellett. That's what they need. Again, the quality of ball that went inside there as well. Could have been young Adam Kelleher actually that got on the end of that, but the quality of ball was better, and you know, that's what the Ballyboden forwards will be looking for, because Vincent's ball so far has much better. It's a great take.
It's Lambert. Still springing around the place, collected by Dooley. Dooley sells the dummy. Dooley goes long-ish, looking for McMorrow. Gormley with the stick in again, but McMorrow gets it this time, gets the shot away as well. Has he squeezed that between the uprights? No, he hasn't.
You're just about to say that maybe that break and play kind of, you know, lit a fire a small bit under some of the Ballyboden players. Lambert there had a great catch, and Jack has set a little bit more into it now as well, which is great to see. But you know, Vincent's again so far, that's a poor one. I was just about to say their distribution has been brilliant.
Intercepted by Shane Durkin. Durkin drops it in on top of McMorrow. He has to beat Gormley. That's not easy to do. He decides that he'll take on the point rather than trying to turn and go for goal, but he's hit it wide.
Really impressed with Dara Perry so far as well. Like, his organisation of his backs has been really, really good inside, and he's talking, he's looking at that out ball as well a lot. So you can see Boden are kind of changing the format around a small bit now as well. They're bringing Kelleher outside and just leaving Niall in on his own.
Perry goes long. Why not when you've a target like Heatherton? Nickname Hedjo. I won't lie, sometimes I get confused and call him Hedgerton. Oh, it pops out of the hand. Can he retrieve it? The answer is yes, he's under pressure. Ballyboden have it back, Paul Ryan. The last man you want in that position shooting.
Yeah,
from the St. Vincent's point of view, you can see why. Ryan with his second, he's first from play.
Came from Lambert again though, just winning that dirty ball, because they hadn't been winning it in the half-back line, and he's got on top of Conor Burke there now at the moment, and it's just caused a couple of balls to go inside, and that break and play has brought it back from 8 to 6, like, you know. So
2 scores in a row for Ballyboden. Only once previous in this match they managed to do that, and now they've turned it over again. James Madden, Mellett finds Jack Lambert. Is that a shot or a ball drops into the forwards? It is a shot, and it's quite the shot. It's a wondrous effort by Jack Lambert.
Yeah, similar to a score we probably saw on Sunday in Croke Park, you know, from that distance as well. A great score, and you know, Jack would have played in the goal before as well at underage level as well. So similar to Simon, would have a serious strike. That's a super score, and back to 5.
It's the first time in this match that Ballyboden have scored 3 without reply. We've got 19 minutes gone. The gap has now narrowed. 2-6 is 12, 7 points is 7. Here's Conor O'Donoghue. Picks out his target. Really good pass.
It's a simple enough game, Oisín. Like, people complicate it at times as well. Your possession is good, your distribution has to be good. You give the ball to the man with a chance to win it, and that's what they seem to be doing now.
Kelleher lets one go, but he can't keep it on frame. If Ballyboden can tighten up on the shooting, they'll be okay.
Yeah, and I think both teams, I think Vincents would have missed 3 or 4 as well that they were unhappy with at the start of the game. They got their shooting boots on quicker, but just the distribution now has been better, and finding the man has been better as well. But you know, there's a bit of life to it as well, a bit of spark to it towards the last day, which is great to see. But there's somebody here again, down injured. It's Sean McDonald or James Madden maybe at this far side.
Lucan 110, St. Bridget 7 points. That's the latest score. That game going on in O'Toole Park.
That man is injured as well. Like, there's definitely something, because he's James Madden, as he's shown with Dublin as well. He can be a bit of steel at times. Like, he's not. There's definitely something there. I wouldn't question that, but it's yeah, it's something that's coming into the game, I suppose, as well now as well. When a team gets on top, you can see that break and play just to kind of quieten things down. But James for sure is somebody who would go to the well for Dublin and for club as well.
Lucan leading by 6, which is impressive considering they lost to Chris O'Leary in the 7th minute. Cork man, who of course is now playing for Dublin. Paul Crummy with the goal for Lucan, by the way. Intercepted by Ballyboden cornerback, that's Mulligan Lynch.
Really good tackling from Vincents there.
Vincent's get it back. Here's James Mulcahy. Mulcahy with a spring in his step as he let that one go. You can see why.
Yeah.
That's his second from play.
It is, and again, it comes down to hard work, like, you know, systems, play, all that kind of, we keep talking about that as well, but your hard work, your tackling, you know, your willingness to put the body on the line, and in fairness, that Vincent's forward line and Boden, in fairness, around the middle as well, are putting it in at the moment. A really, really enjoyable game so far. And
it's their first score since that Heatherton goal. McMorrow trying to get through Gormley. McMorrow bounces back up, and now he's fouled. It's a free in.
Just for even for people at home, like from the starting teams as well, like obviously Andrew Gilroy was out for young Mulcahy, who's had a really good start to the game, and obviously Mark O'Farrell had been sent off the last day. And then Boden had 3 changes: Rob Lady and Stephen O'Connor and Timmy Hammersley didn't start. So obviously they've switched things around now as well, where they've brought Conor Dooley around the middle of the field, and they've left McMorrow inside with Jim Kelleher.
22 minutes gone. 8 points to 2-7.
If you're Pat Gilroy, though, you're saying, aren't you, get the ball in? Like, when they've got the ball into to Dermot and to Hedgehoe as well, they've looked dangerous, just as I said.
That's a good ball to Heatherton, trying to get away from his tight marker, Paddy Dunleavy. Can he get this one into the hand and turn? Popped off. Conor Burke, who is a shooter, as he has proven yet again. That's his second from play. Was that Connolly who got the ball to him?
Hedgehoe hit it inside, and then Connolly again. It's whatever they're doing, and obviously the training patterns that they're playing as well. Like, when Hedgehoe gets it, the first thing he does is look for Dermot, and then vice versa. And then obviously Burkey came off the shoulder there as well, which is an impressive score. Good puck out.
Now Ryan gives it to Luke McDwyer. McDwyer looks to get it back inside to a runner, but he's bottled up. It's a line ball for Ballyboden.
It's a big hit as well on Luke, you know, and again, I suppose you can see Shane getting involved there now as well, but just a bit of silliness now as well. But Luke stood up with a big hit from the Vincent's back line there again, you know, and he's getting constant reminders as well. So look, I said it the last day, it's a team that probably epitomises that man over on the line as well, but I'm sure when David Curtin gets them inside, you know, you might see a different Ballyboden maybe in the second half.
Jogging over to take this one is Paul Ryan. He is capable of scoring from here.
Yeah, absolutely. Many a day I stood over there on the line saying and praying and hoping, but very rarely that man let you down, or let Dublin down as well. In fairness, he was one of the best forwards that Dublin have produced over the last many years.
Paul Ryan, magnificent.
Boden of a spare man here now. If Jack Lambert is on his own here now as well, he's going to cover the midfielder, but it's just allowed Dara Perry go the opposite side to Hedgehoe. That's a great take.
Fantastic take. Hedgehoe couldn't get his shot away, blocked down there, smothered by Dunleavy. Manages to get it on the second attempt, ploughs forward, pulls on it. Dunleavy's going to be able to collect this. McMorrow's trying to get there, but the odds are not with him. does well to kind of make it stick. Goes out for a line
did
ball.
very
Line
well,
ball to Vincents. Brian Morehouse-Carroll will be happy enough with that.
Yeah, he's goal rushing, isn't he? He's tight, he's tidy. You know, he's the worst nightmare for an inside forward to mark. Himself and young Dolan have done really well so far now. Again, just the two teams having that spare man back. You know, you need to be so economic with the ball that you're playing. Give the forward an opportunity and a chance to win it. This fella could put it over the bar here.
Ryan has the height, has the elevation, has the accuracy. That's magic from Paul Ryan. Five minutes to half-time. It's quite the game so far.
That's good, yeah, it's entertaining. Even Reiner there, like that fella preferred to be hitting balls like that now with training rather than running around the place, because he just has his wrists and talent. He's exceptional at times as well, but really impressed with Vincent so far in their midfield and half back line, that they've really got on top, and that's something that's going to have to be addressed. But really good, entertaining game so far. Good hits in it as well, which is it's good to see, especially for midweek. You know, I suppose we'll have the whole conversation about whether it's right or wrong, and the kind of set up at the moment as well for teams, how many teams are in the championship. But this is entertaining, it's good, and some of the shooting has been poor, but just good, honest endeavour.
Well, there was no separating them there, so the referee is going to go for a clash ball. Mark Sweeney's in there for St. Vincent's. Can he win it back? No, it is Sean McDonald, but it's a free out.
Vincent's probably a bit annoyed. I think the last two calls, I thought Hedjo, that last time he went in with the ball there as well, was probably unlucky not to get a free, and he'll be disappointed with that one there as well. Then you'll constantly see Lambert watching just to see where that ball is on to give.
Simon Lambert. It's left behind. That's a lucky break for Ballyboden. Can they take advantage of it there to try and get it as Paul Ryan? Ryan bottled up, gets the pass away, finds Shane Durkin. Durkin is so strong, guides it to Luke McDwyer, who's got power and pace, as does this man, Simon Lambert. Nice little back step there, great feet. Having a go is Durkin. Durkin, that's a monster.
A couple of big scores down the last couple of minutes from some really big players for Ballyboden, which is what was needed before half time. Back to a 3-point game now, like. And Vincents will be disappointed with that, because they've done a lot of the hurling. They've done a lot of real kind of magic stuff at times, but in fairness to Boden, some of the real leaders have stood up now and showed real quality of leadership. Here's Hedjo again now.
Heatherton trying to get under it, he breaks it, then lets it go for his teammate. That teammate is James Mulcahy. Saw that there was no route through, so sometimes you have to go backwards to go forwards. Flick back. He turn. Can he get the shot away? James Mulcahy has scored a couple from the near side, and that's off the woodwork. Collected by the Ballyboden defender, trying to get away. He's fouled. It's a free out.
Yeah, did well there. Just wasn't Vincent weren't alive and awake inside enough for the ball. I thought it was going over the bar, would have been scored tonight. He's done really well, young Mulcahy, since he started.
Oisin Mulcahy chasing it down there, just fouling his man. Free out for Ballyboden. Breaks off the stick of Conor Dolan. Flick forward now. Can he win his own break? He can. Paul Ryan. Simon Lambert. Paul Ryan. He's going for it. Don't think he's got it. It's veering off.
Yeah, it was unlucky. Again, smart ball to come out to side, and that's why they're using Paul Ryan in around the middle of the field as that kind of extra man to a shooter or whatever you want to get on ball as well, because his accuracy is normal, kind of whatever, you're 8 or 9 out of 10.
Still early in the championship.
Oh, great take.
What a catch that was. Now, can he finish it? He's roaming forward. Ball knocked out of his hands and sweeping it up. Luke McDwyer finds Durkin. Durkin find Ryan. Comes kindly to James Madden. James Madden. Advantage being played. Madden flicks it on. Ballyboden are in. It's a great block down. Chance still there. Ball still there. Niall Ryan with the shot. Blocked down.
Free out.
Gormley gets to it as a free out. Well, there's a chance gone a begging for Ballyboden with just over a minute of normal time in the first half to go.
Yeah, you put your house on Ryan getting through in there and burying it, but look, credit to Vincent's defenders. Similar to the last day as well. They're really putting their body on the line for the club team, and it's something it's a testament of what's been done on the line for them as well, because it's strong, in your face, aggressive, and there's no fear in any of the 6 backs that are there. And you have to give credit where credit is due on that basis, and Dara Perry as well. Like, I've been really impressed with him so far tonight.
Lucan 112, Bridget's 10 points. That's the latest score from O'Toole Park. They started at the same time as we did. Vincents by 3.
Yeah, with both managers now, I suppose, think with the managers had at half time, like, you know, David will want more intensity from his players, like the Ballyboden players. Just that bit of hunger in some of them needs to be kind of, that fire needs to be lit underneath them, but you have to be impressed with Vincent so far, and anytime the ball has gone into Connolly, into Hedgehoe, they've looked dangerous. So if you're Gilroy, you're kind of saying, look, it's great having it around the middle of the field, but get the ball into the boys inside.
Heatherton couldn't catch it, but he did manage to break it to Shane Durkin. With it in hand, Dunleavy. Another big man. Racing backwards, Sean McDonald. Worked out to Dooley. Dooley has a look.
Oh.
What a catch that is. That is fantastic. And Mellett wins the free.
Yeah, I don't know whether a good ball by Connor, if he meant it or not, but a great take by Aidan. And that's saying he's been quiet tonight so far, Aidan. You know, and you know, your Dublin senior representation needs to kind of push on as well, in order to kind of get that club team over the line as well. So a free for Ryan, you probably put your house on, and it'll come up to half time. And you know, Vincent will probably go in 1 or 2 ahead now. And you know, it's been an entertaining first half, and both managers with work to push for the second half.
Ryan puts it over, makes that workload a little bit less for Ballyboden. First score since the 27th minute of the match. Ballyboden have got the last 4 in a row. Vincent's try and stem the tide. They won't do it like that. Dooley intercepts. Scoops it out to Dunleavy, who'll be able to run onto it. Go, go, go is the shout at Dunleavy. McMorrow with Gormley following him. McMorrow juggles it, gets it in hand. McMorrow still somehow with the sliotar. McMorrow with the cross essentially. Trying to get there is Ryan.
He'll go for
he
it.
Does. Ryan!
Yep.
That is some goal. The power beat Perry, who got something on it but couldn't stop it.
Yeah, and it all comes down to Niall's work rate and his energy in the corner. I said it to you before, a lot of it goes through him when it's positive, and even against Plunkett it was the same. It was his goal that kind of got them over the line after 51 or 2 minutes to push them on, and after all the hurling the Vincents have done, they'll probably find themselves going down into half time now, a point or 2 down.
Well, Niall Ryan forced a fantastic save a couple of minutes ago. Paul Ryan was not to be denied. Perry was unlucky. He got his stick to it, but he just couldn't stop it.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed, but like, in fairness, the power that's in that shot as well from him. There's a serious ball in again.
Sweeney dropping it in. O'Donoghue safe as houses. He picked out Sean McDonald. Ballyboden on a great run of it at the moment. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 scores from play. One of them a goal. 1-4 without reply. But St. Vincent's have the free out.
I think bring Connor Dooley back into that midfield half-back position has made a difference for Bowden as well, like, because Vincent's were well on top in the half-forward line, and it's just stable him down, and they've had an extra man now who can strike the ball well, and he's a big man as well to try and pass.
This could be the last play of the first half. Heatherton goes up for it, can't get it, drops kindly for McDonald. Real scramble for possession, squirts out to Vincents. Burke trying to slalom through. Stealing in there was James Madden, but there's time for no more in the first half. And after falling behind, Ballyboden have got the scores and got themselves back in front. 1-12, that's 15, 2-8, that's 14. Ballyboden lead. Joe, what have you made of it? Yeah,
it's been enjoyable and definitely really, you know, there's a fair lot of big hits in it, but like if you're Vincent's, you're 7 or 8 points up, you know, after 20 minutes, and then to kind of lose that lead for the next 11 or 12 minutes. I think some of the leaders for Bowden stood up. Niall McMorrow, Simon Lambert, you know, really got into the game. It got a little bit more out of Aidan Mellett, but just for Vincent's, when they got the ball inside, they were so dangerous, and they've done so much of the hurling, and they go down, they go in at half time a point down. But look, an enjoyable fair and some really tough tackling. Just some shooting was a bit off, but I think the whole idea of what the managers have to talk about is very clear now. Pat will be very strong inside, I'm sure, on some of the shot selection. He'll also, but the fact of how they let Bowden back into it. But credit to both teams, they've served up something which has been far better than what we saw on the first day.
Half time also at O'Toole Park, Lucan 115, St. Bridget's 11 points. We'll get a look perhaps at some of the highlights in a wee bit of a while. We'll also have the second half coming up. Don't forget, this is one of 2 midweek games in the Go Ahead Dublin Senior 1 Hurling Championship that we're bringing you live and for free on Dubs TV. Tomorrow night it's Coola and Whitehall Columkill. Coola facing Whitehall Columkill, who are managed by two-time AIB All-Ireland Club winner with Kula, Shane Stapleton. So that's an interesting little angle on the game. We'll have more on that tomorrow night. Second half to come. Half-time, it is St Vincent's 2-8, Ballyboden St Endas 112. Welcome back for the second half of this Go Ahead Dublin Senior 1 Hurling Championship encounter of St Vincent's and Ballyboden St Endas. Both of them playing their second match of the campaign. 2 groups of 5, by the way. Ballyboden overcame Plunkets in their first match. Vincent overcame Nafina, last year's finalists. And at the moment it's looking good for Ballyboden, but that is all thanks to a late surge at the end of the first half. Joe Fortune.
Yeah, I thought for the first 15-16 minutes Vincents were really impressive, and then I suppose some of the older guard then for Ballyboden started to kick in a small bit more. You know, they got some really impressive scores there, but I don't think Pat will be happy with that. I think the last 12 minutes just weren't good enough for Vincents, but look, an enjoyable fair so far, and definitely one that I look forward to the second half.
Goal coming from Paul Ryan for Ballyboden St Endas. What a finish it was as well, powerful. Dara Perry got his stick to it, but he couldn't keep it out. John Heatherton, Hedjo, as he's also known, got 2 what you'd call typical Hedjo goals for Vincent in the first half. One of them came from a beautiful delivery by Dermot Connolly. As it was happening, I actually called it as a shot. It wasn't. He did it on purpose. He knew Heatherton was in around the square and he dropped it into him.
Yeah, Dermot, like in fairness, he's working really well with John inside there now as well. You can see a little bit of aggression coming in just before the ball is thrown in, and it's great to see as well. Like, we need a bit of life in the club championship if it's going to be this long with so many teams involved at group stages as well.
Yep. Lucan leading St Bridges at half-time in O'Toole Park. They started at the same time as we did here, so they'll be in or around the same stage. Vincent's trying to open up with a goal here at the start of the second half. Now, can they? Oh. Great save by O'Donoghue. Fantastic save by O'Donoghue.
Good save, but he didn't really hit it either, and Hedjo, he was just inside. All he had to do was pop it off. Need to get a score from that.
I think that was Oisin Mulcahy. The shot goes wide, the follow-up.
It was great pace, showed really good pace inside to get inside, but probably should have popped the ball to Hedjo, if not really, because he only kind of scooped at it rather than hit it. Great ball inside.
Lambert with the diagonal, Adam Kelleher looking after it. Adam Kelleher being wrapped up here. It's good marking by Conor Dolan. Kelleher waits for support. That's McMorrow. Kelleher gets it himself. Gormley stuck to him like glue, and it's Vincent who get the decision.
Yeah, I think Vincent's have 2 little gems there in Morehouse Carl and Dolan. Like, they're 2 hard-hitting, 2 aggressive cornerbacks. Following, like, again, I suppose, you know, having had a good kind of underage kind of career with Dublin over the last kind of couple of years as well, which is really good to see.
Gormley, he's had a fine championship so far. That said, we've only played a game and a half. Good catch in the middle of the park. Is the delivery good down towards Heatherton?
Is it?
Oh, what a take. And he turns and gets away from Dunleavy.
That's
Chasing
Lambert.
Back is Lambert. Heatherton has to put it in hand. Goes to ground. No free, says the referee. He's playing on. Now he's fouled and it's a free in. But when he went to ground at first, that's when Vincent thought they should have had a free. They didn't get it for that, but they did get it for a follow-up. Just a little tug of his arm.
Yeah, you'd wonder at some stage did John give Lucan a speeding ticket or somewhere along the line, because geez, he's finding it hard to get some of the frees as well. Like, but like, look, again, when he's going through like that, he's a hard man to catch. But Lambert, in fairness, got back to stop the threat coming forward of a goal. So a chance now for John to put the ball over the bar to get it back to level game again.
And Lambert raced back. Heatherton puts it over. First score of the second half. Just under 3 minutes gone.
See Bowden just for their puck outs here again, had that spine down the middle again, hoping for someone to break to the side, put Dooley on, Dooley under the ball now as well.
Inside it goes. Will it find its target? Its target is Shane Durkin.
Just too hard, just that bit too hard, yeah. Good idea, good puck up by Bowden there as well. Like, Dooley will break ball or catch ball all day, and Paul sat underneath it and put the ball just too far to the far side for Shane. But again, you know, Bowden seem to have put a big effort now into stopping that ball coming inside to Hedjo as well, and that's probably what saw it get a bit of life into the first half as well.
Lucan 117, St Bridget's 13 points. That's the latest score from O'Toole Park.
Yeah, Lucan seemed to be motoring well, like, did a good win out the first day as well, like, so this will be 2 good wins under their belt as well before the break possibly for them.
Charlie Carter in charge of Kilkenny legend. Referee says play on. He's following that kind of John Keenan swallow the whistle mantra, isn't he?
A bit, yeah.
One thing I didn't know about John Keenan ahead of last Sunday's game was that he'd actually ref 2 Wicklow football finals as well as 7 Wicklow hurling finals.
Yeah, John's a top man, like, and a gentleman as well. You'd hope that they look at that whole age profile thing as well, Oisin, because you know, we're lucky enough in Dublin, I suppose, to have 2 or 3 of the lads that are at that inter-county level, but you need lads like John Keenan as well, like good hurling referees.
Gormley flicked it forward. He was fouled after he sent it away. It's a free to St. Vincent's.
Gormley's had a good game, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's been strong in there, you know.
He's had 2 good games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd love to see that far side stand full, though. You know, it's a lovely evening, summer's evening. You know, 2 clubs going at it, and look, at times the fair. Look, it's real. It's in your face. It's aggressive. It's good. It's better. The quality could do with a little bit of improvement, I'd say, but you'd love to see the stand full, and you know, you'd love to kind of see. I suppose you're envious at times down the country. You'd see the club championships and how, you know, the numbers that they get, and you'd love to see the Dublin players get that acknowledgement as well for their club championship.
Standing over this free is Tom Connolly. Eyes it up, gives it everything. O'Donoghue takes it solidly. Chasing after that was Sean McDonald, and he's done really well. McDonald, Burke, Tetherton, I beg your pardon.
No, you're right the first time.
Was I? I was. Now it will be Heatherton. It definitely is. There's no mistaking him. But it's a rare mistake for Heatherton in front of goal.
Yeah, he just got the better inside. He's been allowed jump with that one hand. I know when we had up against him, obviously in 18 and 19, the big thing was to try and break the ball to ground, because he's such a great hand as well. And if he gets away, I'm surprised he didn't take that one on. Like, you know, so that's something that Boden will have to look at. But again, look, the quality dropped a small bit, I'd say. You know, both teams have had a couple of poor shots, and I think you're kind of 5-6 minutes into the second half with no real sense of who's going to push on here yet.
Ballyboden have made a change. Kelleher has gone off. Just trying to spot who came on. We'll see that in a second, no doubt.
Timmy Hammersley has come on there.
Timmy Hammersley from County Tipperary, working around the Ballyboden region.
Yeah, he's the director. I don't know what the proper term is now, but he's the head of coaching over there at the moment, and seems to be going, and be very proud to be involved with the club as well. So he would have had a very close amalgamation and association with Dylan Quirk down in Tipperary as well. I saw the boys were down there a couple of weeks ago as well, and fair play to Joe Canning for calling it out for what it was on Sunday evening.
Here's Paul Ryan. And here is the score.
Yeah, I said it to you earlier, you know, again, it could come down to that. If this gets really close at the end, it could come down between Reiner and Hedgehoe in regards to frees, and Hedgehoe will just be disappointed with that last shot, because you'd put your house on him getting it.
Ball rebounds kindly for Vincents. What can they do with it?
Bit of space inside, Ocean, for Boden, for McMurrow in front of him.
Niall Ryan put out over the line. Ballyboden get the decision. Ballyboden get the line ball. Vincents argue it.
Yeah, they seem to be very strong, that it was them, and again, you know, again, you have 5 or 6 players in around that area as well, so I think if there's any way of being unsure, but in fairness to Luke, he's been up at the play all evening. He's allowed the game to go as well, but that was probably a 50-50 call.
And it's a free rather than a line ball.
See, Vincent put Conor Burke back into that kind of 6th position that he plays for Dublin, so Boden have brought Aidan Mellett out onto Markham rather than allow him to sit free.
Ryan. Unlucky. That's one of those ones where you wouldn't necessarily expect a free taker to score it, but he would expect himself to score it. Heatherton is the target again, and they have reached the target. Plays it inside, but no one was there except for Simon Lambert. Lambert running it out, off the stick. Ballyboden keep the attack alive. McMorrow's trying to get there. There's a lot of space if he can get around Gormley, but that's not easy to do. He won't go around him, he'll just go direct, take the shot on and get the point.
Again, get the ball inside to him, and he's so dangerous, and Pat will look at that for Vincent as well, because you're going to have to be tighter with him if you give him that space at all, especially what they're trying to create for people at home as well, is that there's 50 yards of space in front of him, and unless it's Conor Burke doing the sweeping, you know, the other player is not going to get a better Niall. tackle.
Left behind by Morehouse Carroll. Storming forward, Aidan Mellett. Mellett flips it backwards. He'll go for it, Will Hammersley.
Got it.
And the former Tipperary senior medalist puts it over.
Yeah, it's funny, we spoke earlier on about, you know, both teams introducing. Like, I've been really impressed with the two young lads in the corner for Vincents, but for Ballyboden you have to say it's the old guard, and obviously Timmy coming in there now as well. It's the older guard that are really pushing them on, with McMurrough and Lambert are really driving it now at the moment as well with Shane Durkin.
Vincent's looking to respond. Shot comes from Mulcahy.
Great score.
Good score, really good score by James Mulcahy. His third from play by my reckoning.
Willie Fallon, the umpire down there, he loves to wave that flag, you know, he just doesn't wave it once. You think he was guiding in the plane.
Ball breaks for Aidan Mellett. Mellett trying to get away. That's a free in.
Yeah, he actually got the ball as well, though. If you look at it again, you know, we mightn't see it tonight, but you will see the fact that, I suppose, if you look at it again later on, he did hit the ball, and I suppose just that extra hand coming in there as well. Obviously gave Lucas going to give him a yellow card maybe now as well. Both managers be happy with the, I suppose, the physical intensity is there. It's just the quality of hurling is probably dropped a small bit. You know, there's real honest endeavour, but just quality of hurling wise, like when they're doing it, it's good, but it's the kind of intermediary time between that it's not as good as they'll hope to have it towards the end of the championship.
A yellow card for Sean Mulcahy, another point for Paul Ryan. Ballyboden not quite cruising, but in a decent position.
Yeah, and only 3 up pushing, but we haven't really seen anything yet from Vincent in the second half. You know, lots of endeavour, but they need to get a couple of scores on the board here now, because Boden could easily go 7 or 8 points up if not. You can see Hedgehoe driving them on there as well, like, and that's what they need. You know, it's the same as what Lambert does with Boden. Like, you know, you need a leader to call them out and, you know, tell them when the work rate is not good enough. I suppose looking at the 2 benches as well, like, you know, Keeney obviously there as well for Boden. I know he's been struggling with a couple of injuries as well, but young Pierce Christie is always somebody who's impressed me a lot, and I'm sure Kevin Desmond, who had a good year with the 20s or 21s a couple of years ago, will want a shot over the next couple of weeks.
What a take that is by James Madden. Ballyboden lost it though. Must be so frustrating when you do something really well like that in a move, but then follow it up by losing it. It's a very, very clever ball. And they do something with it. He's turning, he's twisting. It's Oisin Mulcahy. It's a good score.
Yeah, and whoever drew up the team lists, you know, 100% in earlier on in the week, didn't put Mulcahy in the starting team, but I tell you, he'll be on it the next day. He's had a really good game this evening. We'll be disappointed with the goal chance he had, but, you know, on both sides, he had a chance in the first half, would have been scored tonight and hit the post.
Lucan 118, St. Bridget's 18 points.
Wasn't close to making a change. They can see somebody over on the line there now as well.
As I say, that game running concurrently with this one, that one going on in O'Toole Park.
Great take.
What a fantastic catch. Is it matched by the finish? The answer is yes.
Great score, Luke McDwyer, yeah. Yep. Great score. And again, that's what both managers, like, win your own ball as a forward, you know, but again, you know, put the shooting boots on and have that shot, but like with real conviction there from Luke, and a great young player coming through for Dublin as well.
His first score of the game by my reckoning.
Yeah, he's been quiet.
Dooley. He was so effective at the end of the first half. He's taking it on himself, Dooley.
Yeah.
From right out the country, Dooley absolutely nails it. His second score from play of the game.
Yeah, but you're allowed that free shot, Oisin, you know, you're allowed that free hit, and I suppose Vincent will be disappointed with that, but that's one of the scores of the night again from that distance from Connor. A great strike of the ball. He's
a guy you really admire. You worked with him.
Yeah. I admire him because I think I know when in a past management he was looking out the field as well, and I actually think he could have at one stage possibly pushed on for Dublin out the field, even though he was a phenomenal keeper. You know, he got the blame for 1 or 2 bad performances for Dublin in the goal, but I genuinely thought he could have added something. I saw him as a kind of a Hegarty kind of figure at the time, but I suppose that's three years ago now, so maybe that time is gone.
These guys train to such a high level at their club, there's no reason he couldn't step up if called upon. Conor Burke trying to step up there. He took on the shot, unfortunately for him, didn't quite work out. O'Donoghue. He's chasing after it there. Couldn't quite keep it in line. Ball for St. Vincent's. 21 points to 17 when you make the conversion. It's a long wait for Vincents to their next game. They play Plunkets on September 1st.
It's incredible, isn't it? You play 2 games in 10 days and you don't play then for another nearly 5 weeks. But again, look, I suppose that's the structure that's there now at the moment. See, Keane is keen on for... no, it's not yet.
It's because they have the bye for the next round. So the next round of games is, I think, August 18th or 19th, something like that. And it's Folks for Ballyboden St Endas. I did write this down earlier, but my writing is so bad I can't actually read the date that I wrote.
You're saving all the good writing for the BBC at the moment.
I don't do any of that. You see, Fan Stats does.
Yeah, you'll miss Aoife tonight.
Oh, big time. McMorrow spills it. He didn't miss that, but he couldn't make it stick. Hammersley in there trying to dig it out. I think it's Vincents and Gormley who's secured the possession. Goal lifting it up is Conor Dolan. Now it's Gormley. But if teams do build from the back, Vincents are building something special. If you look at the likes of Gormley, Dolan, Morehouse, Carroll. Oisin Mulcahy trying to get there, stealing away Sean McDonald.
But if that ball doesn't go in deep, Oisin, the problem is it's not going in deep enough for Vincents now, and it's allowing Simon to sit back as a spare manager. He'll read the ball all day, I feel like.
Here's Niall Ryan, goes off the stick and scores.
He's a very pacey player, you know. It was great for me in 18 as well. Like, you know, scored a couple of really crucial scores, and even in the Leinster campaign. And you know, he's been quiet tonight, but a really good score.
3 points in a row for Ballyboden.
Go.
Vincents have only scored 3 points in the second half so far. Whereas Ballyboden have scored 7. Can Vincents add to that scoring tally now? Heatherton put his out. I thought for a second it was in. It was flicked away. It came off the boot of the onrushing player.
Cian McBride, is it?
Yes, Cian, that's right. We scored a goal the last time against Nafina, and he was unlucky there. Didn't know too much about the effort, but almost scoring the second goal in the championship.
But again, what's causing problems is getting that ball inside high, and I suppose what Boden have done is they've stopped that to a certain point, and when Vincents get the opportunity, they need to put the ball inside because it's causing problems in there.
Ballyboden have it back. Here's Hammersley. Hammersley can't slalom through that many bodies. Vincents racing forward, dropping the ball in on top of Heatherton. Man down will play on. Heatherton could be thinking goal again, you know. Drops the hurley, gets it off, but we'll have to come back.
Yeah, that was a big hit on Conor Burke there now as well, and I think Jack could be possibly called back here. It's a yellow card. I don't think there's any more than that. Again, without seeing the replay, and you're watching it live, but again, the ball goes inside to Hedgehoe, and you know, Simon stood up really well. Lambert stood up really well, but again, I've been impressed all night with Hedgehoe. When he gets the ball in his hand, he's a constant danger all the time. And
yep.
I think good management as well there. They've allowed Conor Burke go back at 6. He's been doing a lot better. He was in at 11, but Conor Dooley going back in behind that sweeper as well, or in that defensive role, has made a difference. Yeah, it's good refereeing as well there. See the leaders again driving it on, because you know, if they've got a couple of vital scores. In fairness to Boden, they've kind of tipped away at the scoreboard. They're 4 or 5 points up. They kind of get at that, and Vincents need this one now as well to get them back into the game. Like, and they're a constant sense of danger for goals, but I just don't think their efficiency out the field is good enough for if they want to kind of push on the championship.
Lucan leading by 4 against Bridget's, 121 to 20 points in O'Toole Park. Lucan going for that second victory, as are Vincents, as are Ballyboden. He didn't catch it right. It might work out. O'Donoghue forced into a good save. It goes over the crossbar. I think it's safe to say, an unusual point.
Yeah, but again, we'll probably give Dermot the criticism in the first half. I don't think John meant that, but again, it could have caused a big problem. But good save from Conor.
Oisin Mulcahy went in on top of it, couldn't quite guide it home. O'Donoghue, well, as a goalkeeper, you want to flick it away.
And Connor's been underage keeper for Dublin minors as well, and just with the quality of keeper that Boden have produced over the years with Gary Maguire and Finn McGarry, hasn't really got a chance and an opportunity, and this is his kind of, he played a couple of Leinster games for Ballyboden in 18, but this is first real shot at. I know Matty Nolan have been doing well, but you know, it's good to see, and Dara Perry as well, 2 fine young keepers as well, and I think we don't in the kind of Dublin hurling circles, there's a good few quality keepers there.
Perry.
Dangerous.
Heatherton got his hand to it again, couldn't guide it home. Cian McBride is in there as well. Dooley's back there minding the house.
It's funny, John doesn't stand under the ball, he kind of comes at there, he has it.
Oh, and here he is, Heatherton. Good ball to the runner. Can he get the goal?
Yeah.
It bounces home. It's a really good finish by Sean Lamb.
He's a fine player, Oisin. He's a really good game wing back. Like, again, it just caught that high ball causes constant, and it's something that Boden will have to look at after tonight, because the ball that's gone in there, Hedger just doesn't stand under the ball. He actually comes at it from an angle, and it causes, like, you don't know where he is, and he's what, 6'5" or 6. And he won't thank me if I get it wrong, but he's a big man, and he's causing problems every time it goes in. But look, it makes a game of it again in a good kind of last 10 or 11 minutes, because at that stage Boden had kind of pulled away, and you can see the crowd now, kind of the Tom O'Connelly's and Hedge's trying to drive the Vincent's crew on, but a sloppy goal to concede from a Ballyboden perspective.
Sean Lamb following it in, taking it, doing the sidestep and getting it home by any means necessary. That's a foul. It was a good catch initially by Shane Durkin.
Yeah, I suppose that's something that they're looking at this year, is trying to put ball winners maybe into that half forward line, because Shane would have been a 5 or a 7 or a midfielder for his Dublin career as well, and always 5 or a 7 with Boden, whatever, 18, 19, 20. But he's been quiet at times tonight. He's got on ball as well, but you know, they're looking at that idea, I suppose, of having kind of primary ball winners in the half forward line. So you'd imagine Paul will put this over the bar.
3-12, that's 21. 119, that's 22. 10 to go.
There's a couple, I know we talk about analysis and videos, and me, it's hard sometimes when you're doing this, when you're used to being over on the sideline, but there's a couple of clips there you could easily show to players that when, you know, aggression is not good enough and taking too long over the ball. I know Timmy will be disappointed with his last effort there as well, because you don't get an opportunity, a chance to hit balls in flat feet. So that's something that both managers can look at over the with John's kind of one before that too.
2 scores in a row for St. Vincent's, but Ballyboden get one there through Ryan. Goals just breathe confidence, don't they? Trying to get the ball in hand is Paddy Dunleavy. He hasn't got it, it's Heatherton. Spills it back outside, Cian McBride. That's going to drop, there could be danger here. Connolly trying to get to it. He's making it stick inside, but Ballyboden have it. Lambert. That is dangerous from Lambert, he's blocked down. It's still in play just about. McDonald. Dooley.
Yeah, Jack Lambert did really well there now to cover in for Simon as well after the initial mistake.
McMorrow, he has turned on it. I think he'll just pop it over because he's at a tight angle. Left it behind first time. Passes inside to Paul Ryan. Ryan just puts it over. Clever play.
Yeah, and what looked like a mistake at the far end of the field, and an opportunity and chance for Vincents to get in. And again, that's something that I'm sure Pat will speak about later in the week, that you get those opportunities, you have to take them and be a little more ruthless. You look at like Alex Considine for Crokes, when he gets that ball in his hand, he just goes head down straight for goal.
Callum Walsh gave it off to Sean Mulcahy, who drops it into Heatherton.
Again.
Heatherton. Risty. Beautiful. Good score. A bit like the last game that Vincents were involved in. It was a quiet enough game for long periods, but the ending was exciting.
Yeah, and look, I suppose David Curtin is looking at this now as well. Like long term, there's no medals given out here, in July for championships, and he's trying to see, I suppose, look at the likes of Paddy Dunleavy and big tests inside, because he's had a tough time of it with John in there, and I suppose the easy thing to do is take him off, and maybe David's thing is long-term thinking here, that if they can get to a quarter-final, is this guy going to be good enough to mark some of the big full forwards in Dublin?
Don't forget tomorrow night, Whitehall Colmkill against Coola, live at 7:30. Sean McDonald trying to make sure that his opponent James Mulcahy doesn't get it. He does a good job. Luke McDwyer looking for McMorrow, but Gormley's out in front. The bounce is unfortunate for him. McMorrow a little bit isolated at the moment. Now has some support. Owen Behan.
Yeah, good score.
Good score, really good score.
Smart by McMorrow as well, like knew the shot wasn't on, and you know, maybe hasn't got that turn of pace anymore to beat the man on the corner on the blind side. But good score from young Behan again, who they seem to rate really, really highly out in Ballyboden at the moment.
You can see why. Fired down the line by Morehouse Carroll. Lambert bumped off it by Heatherton. Two good old stagers. Heatherton lost it, regathered it. If he gets the score from there, it is magnificent. He was unlucky, it goes wide.
Yeah, they've obviously put Lambert onto him now because he's got too much in the last while, and it took a long time. I can see the two of them smiling at each other there as well, because they would have went to war in the blue jersey for Dublin at a stage as well. So two good lads, two good solid lads to have on the team.
Definitely. Speaking of solid, Shane Durkin in on top of McMorrow. Flicked away from him. That's very clever defending. Sean Lamb.
Perry will drop this in now.
Might go for it. No real breeze to speak of. He proved both of us wrong there.
I have to get a score from this though.
They do. It'll come from the stick of Sean Mulcahy if it goes between the posts, but it doesn't.
You know, you make, like, again, that direct ball works, you know, for shooting. Is it not fishing out the field, you know, get the ball inside to the two boys that are causing the problem. Brought on young Gilroy there now as well, I think.
That's right. Well, football coming up in a couple of weeks here on Dubs TV, but there is the small matter of the All-Ireland final on Sunday. Dublin against Kerry in Croke Park. Throw in at 3:30. I can't wait. Keep an eye on the Dublin G. Oh, there's a little bit of jostling. Players going down, players pushing and shoving, but no one wants to get sent off or do anything silly, so no striking or anything like that. Well, I was just about to say, in the lead-in to the All-Ireland final on Sunday, keep an eye out for lots of good stuff on the Dublin GA social media channels, the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter, and all that jazz. Lots of good stuff here tonight. 1:22 Ballyboden, 3:13 Vincents, 5 minutes to go. Remember, it can end in a draw, it's not knockout or anything like that.
That's probably just the first time we've seen it all night, kind of a bit of silliness there, and Conor Burke, you know, getting involved in something silly that's not needed. But there was probably, I suppose, with Luke and Conor Dooley, you know, there was more guards probably involved in that situation. There is no O'Connell Street, but again, looking at what it is, look, it obviously means something to the Vincents lads now to try and push this on. But you'd imagine that Paul will put this ball over the bar, and you know, it looks, what, 5-6 minutes left. They've put a big solid effort into this, but just their shooting efficiency hasn't been good enough, and up front, you know, they've been unlucky at times with some of their shot selections and some of their goal chances. But I suppose credit to both teams. It's a step up on where we were on day one, which you'd imagine it will be for all teams on their second day out.
Fogs next up, by the way, for Ballyboden St Endas. That's on the 19th of August. And as I said earlier on, for St Vincent's, it's the 1st of September. That's because in a 5-team group there's a bye week for one of the teams when everyone else is playing, so that comes for Vincent's next up. Paul Ryan didn't catch it right at all. Oh, Perry has to be careful here. McMorrow's trying to get there. He's just being held off. Really strong defending. I think it was Morehouse Carroll who was back there and got his body between the attacker and the goal.
I think that whole row was continuing on.
Here's Cian McBride. Heatherton will try and get under this, as will Gilroy. It comes to Lambert. I thought he might have to kick that. He's a decent footballer as well. It wouldn't have been an issue to him. Here's Luke McDwyer. And it's a Ballyboden ball. It's a free, in fact, for a chop down.
Yeah, there was a pull there in the ear there as well. And again, look, he was on the ball, but just the Ballyboden player got caught in the middle of it. But yeah, the Vincent's line not too happy over there with that decision.
Let's try and find out what's happening between Lucan and St. Bridget's. It's 1:22 for Lucan. It's 1:21 for St. Bridget's.
Very close there now.
Very, very close. 2 minutes to go there. Just over 2 minutes to go here.
See Conor Burke getting frustrated there now. He's still involved in that kind of scuffle that was involved a few minutes ago. So he needs to kind of remember that he doesn't need to get a silly red card here now and miss his third game for club championship as well. Like, you know, I'm sure Pat will see that.
Pat, who's got a busy couple of days coming up.
Yeah, Brian O'Regan as well from Borden involved with the senior footballers as well at the weekend.
That will be some occasion, some game. Best of luck to Dublin. And Kerry, but this isn't Kerry TV. Here's Paul Ryan. Morrow tries to get there, he can't. Grabbed and sent away by Vincents. Trying to work it up the pitch. 25 points for Ballyboden when you make the conversion, 22 for Vincents. Vincents, who got a late goal against Nafina to seal it. Here they're looking to get a late goal to equalise. That's not a particularly good line ball, but I don't think Ballyboden had backed off enough, and it's a free to Vincents. They have to give them a certain amount of space for the line ball, and they didn't.
Yeah, but again, it's probably a bit pedantic there. They're bringing John back here now as well to hit it. But again, I just think, again, you look at this for next week or the next game that Vincent's have. You know, you're fumbling around here. Get the ball was dangerous inside. Get the ball in. Like Simon Lambert has done a lot better inside there on John, but it's a big free for him now.
I think it's veering off. It is. It's a wide.
Yeah, good effort. Big distance out as well. He kind of needed that one as well, I think, with a couple of minutes to go.
That's one of those ones where, weirdly enough, you kind of want a bit of a breeze to tail it back in.
3-point game, you know, just probably 3 minutes, 4 minutes. You know, Bowden will look for an extra score now to kind of solidify it as well. And
Lambert going high, going long. McMorrow is the target. It bounces around. Gormley hoovers it up. Lost it. McMorrow can't get it. Not a chop down, says the referee. Vincents have the possession, but will they keep it for very long? No. Getting in there, Aidan Mellett. He's going for that. The shot coming from the stick of Jack Lambert. And Lambert puts it wide. It remains a 3-point game. Ballyboden in front.
Yeah, Dara Perry will probably hit John here now. It's a... No, Conor Burke made that run.
Change being made by Ballyboden.
Here's Christie.
I saw who came on. I didn't see who came off.
If anybody yet. Or Luke McTwire has gone. Or Niall Rinder has gone.
Yeah, it's Niall Rinder. Perry. Etherton will try and get under this. He'll be joined by his friends. Ball breaks. What a steal by Paddy Dunleavy. Being as hooked. That's a big swing. Well, he went for the ball, in fairness. He wasn't going for the player or anything like that.
No. Again, like we talked a few minutes ago about what, you can see Pat saying that as well, the ball was there, but you can see what we spoke about a few minutes ago. Dunleavy came out really well with that ball. He's had a hard time tonight, but in fairness to him, he did really, really well there. Yellow card.
Yellow card and nothing more.
So Pierce Christie is in there, and just they have to put him at 11. You can see the lads still jostling away there.
Yep, off camera there's a bit of jostling going on. Paul Ryan to put Ballyboden 4 up with 2 minutes gone in injury time. It would probably be the point that seals it.
Yeah.
Paul Ryan, he's stood up again tonight for Ballyboden St Endas. The job not done, but it's looking good.
Yeah, and a pivotal point as well. You know, those clutch moments. He probably.
Well, this is what Vincents don't need to be getting involved in. It will suit Ballyboden fine. Slow the game down, break the momentum. Referee having a word. I think that's Oisin Mulcahy he's talking to.
It's hard to see the numbers, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Yellow card.
I think it started just holding Aidan Mellett in the middle of the field, but yeah, it hasn't been a game played in bad. The last few minutes have just been a bit kind of handbags, you know, to be honest. But I just need to get on with it now and just do it on the field rather than kind of silly stuff.
You do wonder, with the big gap to the next games, for a manager, is it actually good? Because it gives you the chance to do some hard physical training. You know, we heard
unless lads go on holidays, Ush. Do you know, that's the thing, unless lads plan, like you see maybe some of the Nafina lads were away maybe this week, you know, or just after the game, and I just think just extends the thing out an awful long time. And I've been the club manager where you're trying to take them off, you're trying to take away from Jewel maybe at times, or you get them back from county, and all of a sudden I just think it needs to be looked at, because I think the gap is too big. And that bye thing, again, it's only my personal opinion. I don't know whether it works and whether we've too many teams maybe at the top.
Connor Dooley is down receiving treatment. Again, off camera at the moment, but he's back up, he's okay. And now play will resume. Do Vincents have time to get 2 scores? Perry, they'll worry about the first one first. In on top of Heatherton, it's going. That one is pinging around, and it's secured by Dunleavy. He's had quite a game. Vincents will try and get it back into the square. I wonder, would they be better off just taking a point and then worrying about the goal afterwards? It squirts out. Connolly drops it, tries to get it back, loses it again. Hasn't given up on it much to his credit. Still there, Connolly. Falls out kindly. Vincents have the possession. In on top of Heatherton, it's going again. Again, couldn't take it cleanly, hasn't given up on it. Dooley standing strong. An awkward bouncing shot, which O'Donoghue deals with well. That could be that.
Yeah, good defending, just a bit one-dimensional. I think you were right, Oisin. Maybe they had a couple of chances there to maybe take the point first. But look, a good win. Good win for Ballyboden, good competitive fare, but I think both managers will have an awful lot to learn from this, and there'll be a lot of clips shown this week about what is and what's good enough and what's not. But look, a good win for Ballyboden, and Vincents, in fairness, are a fine team this year. I don't think Pat will be happy with some of the decisions maybe towards the end. See him kind of walking over in that direction now, but look, enjoyable, and I suppose for a Tuesday night, like, what else would you prefer to be at?
And a second win for Ballyboden in this season's championship, having opened up with a good victory against Plunketts. Full time, by the way, from O'Toole Park. Lucan 124, Bridget's 122. That seems like it was quite the game in O'Toole Park. It wasn't bad here as well, was it? 123 is good shooting. 313, not bad either, but it's Ballyboden who get the victory, Joe.
Yeah, it is, and I suppose credit to David Curtin as well, management, because I suppose Paddy Dunleavy had a hard enough night maybe for 50 minutes and came into it in the last 10 minutes then as well, and I suppose putting Lambert back on Hedgehoe, I suppose if you stop that ball coming into Heatherton, I suppose that one dimension is gone, and I think from Vincent's point of view, they're going to have to, they were really good in the first 20 minutes, their efficiency, their passing was really, really good, and then it just dropped in the last 10. I suppose that break and play as well, there were 7-8 points up. They'll be disappointed with that, but Boden, look, again, I suppose the only thing I suppose you're thinking is that it's the names, the same names, the Lamberts, the McMurrows, the Durkins, that are the Dooleys are kind of really driving them on, and I suppose one or two. Jack Lambert, I was impressed with tonight. I thought he had a good game after a shaky enough start. I actually thought young Adam Kelleher did okay in the first half too, but only got to see 30 minutes competitive fare. But look, Oisín, it's the second day. You have 2 wins under your belt now. I'm sure David will give them a week or so off now maybe, because there is a big break.
So Ballyboden now move to 4 points. St. Vincent's remain on 2. They've both played 2 games. The other 3 teams in the group are Fogs, Nafina and Plunketts. Let's just take a look at the upcoming fixtures in this group. Tomorrow night, Plunketts taking on Fogs. We'll keep you in touch with that. That's going on in O'Toole Park. Our focus tomorrow night will be the clash of Coola and Whitehall Columkill. Whitehall Columkill back up at this level and delighted to be here, and deservedly being here. Coola, well, they would be in the conversation for the title, and I suppose they'll want to ram that point home tomorrow night against Whitehall Columkill. That one throws in at 7:30. It's live on Dubs TV. Joe, your final thoughts on tonight's action?
Yeah, I think, look, it was enjoyable. It's the second game of championship. I think Vincent's will be very disappointed. You can see, I suppose, the Boden lads coming in there now together, and like some of that will be spoken about not being good enough tonight from both camps. But look, it was an enjoyable second game of championship. Like we said, there's nothing won or lost really tonight, but maybe there's a question mark over 1 or 2 lads, and I think obviously Vincent's will need to get the 2 McBrides back in if they want to contend and win a senior championship, because they have the foundation and the basis there of a really good team. And I suppose Boden have young Luke Corcoran to come back in. We haven't seen Conal Keeney yet. He's been carrying a couple of injuries, so they'll have a few more to bring in as well. But yeah, overall, an enjoyable affair. I think the standard time dipped, but look, what Dublin needs as well is maybe 1 or 2 players over the next couple of weeks putting their hand up to Micheál and that, to say, look, I want to be involved next year, and I suppose that's something that we haven't really seen yet apart from current panellists. Okay, Joe Fortune, thank you very much. More reaction on this game to come across the Dublin GA social media channels. Check out the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter and the TikTok.
The final score here, 123 for Ballyboden, St Vincent's 313. It's a second win in a row for Ballyboden. It's not a disaster for Vincents, it's a group of 5, so there is room to manoeuvre, and of course they won their first game over in O'Toole Park Lucan, making it 2 wins from 2, with a 2-point victory against St Bridget's, 124 to 122 the final score there. Back tomorrow night at 7:30 with Coola against Whitehall Colmkill. Until then, take care, bye bye.